On James at 15, a pretty girl convinces James to join her friend's religious group.
I have something I'd like to give you. It's awfully intimate, but...
Then he learns about the fringe benefits.
Welcome back to another episode. This week, it's I Want to Watch That as we discuss James at 15. When I was 15 years old, a professionally written drama came to television along the lines of The Waltons or Little House on the Prairie, only set in the modern day. It was a look at life through the eyes of 15-year-old James Hunter, played by Lance Kerwin. The characters were well done and fleshed out, being three-dimensional. The situations were realistic, and it was a nice little slice of life TV show. Unfortunately, it lasted only 20 episodes. The pilot episode drew excellent ratings, and NBC quickly greenlit a series. It was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards and a Directors Guild of America Award in its short network run. The protagonist must move with his family from Oregon to Boston, Massachusetts.
Just when I first fell in love and everything was fine, my family had to move to Boston from a small town in Oregon. I was 15 years old and I had to start a whole new life.
I could relate to that since I had to move with my single mother from Windsor Locks, Connecticut back to my hometown of Holton, Maine. There was the culture shock of leaving behind friends and family and having to adjust to new surroundings and make new friends. Most sitcoms would have the teens be the brains and the parents be out of the loop and not very realistic in their portrayal of its characters. But not James. He had to deal with the consequences of his actions.
Am I getting it on, James? This new step is the clunky Persian.
Hey, that's great, Julie.
Just working in my new moves for the big dance.
And at that age, a lot of our actions are usually wrong as we act first and think later. It's that learning from our mistakes that made the show relatable.
Gross. I'm glad I'm not an amoeba.
Oh, it's not that bad. You get lonely, you just split in half.
I can think of better ways to reproduce.
James' parents were Paul and Joan Hunter, played by Lyndon Childs and Lynn Carlin. His sister was played by Kim Richards. Looking at Wikipedia, the show was highly praised for its realism and sensitivity, with the New York Times reviewer applauding the program's avoidance of stereotyping characters. Sly, a jobbing black student, has solidly middle-class parents deeply involved in classical music, and a lower-middle-class classmate discovers that her father makes more money as a plumber than James' professor's father.
How's the dance coming along?
Oh, pretty well.
I'm going as Cleopatra. I got this real slinky gown, James.
Tom Shales of the Washington Post opined, not perfect, not revolutionary, not always deliriously urgent. James at 15 is still the most respectable new entertainment series of the season.
Make any friends?
Yeah? They just don't know it yet.
Consistently, it communicates something about the state of being young, rather than just communicating that it wishes to lure young viewers. And if it romanticizes adolescence through weekly trials and triumphs of its teenage hero, at least it does so in more ambitious, inquisitive, and authentic ways than the average TV teeny bop. And speaking of Little House on the Prairie, one great show guest starred Little House's own Melissa Sue Anderson. Critics also approved of its handling of James' first sexual experience, which aired February 9th, 1978, at which point the show assumed the name James at 16. However, head writer Wakefield quit in a dispute with NBC over the use of the euphemism responsible for birth control in the episode, as well as the network's insistence that James should feel remorse over his decision. Kevin Williamson cited this series as the inspiration for his own Dawson's Creek. The show also inspired 2 novels written by April Smith.
And any girl would say, yes, of course I'll go to the dance with you.
I just hope Millie Teal agrees. Thanks, Julie.
Millie Teal?
Oh, James, you dunderhead. There's a cute girl that you're talking to who's obviously interested in you. Classic teen angst is explored in this awesome series.
So maybe if you're not busy, we could,
James.
You are busy?
That's right. I'm always busy when I'm last choice, James.
It was a lighthearted look at being a teenager in the 1970s. I really loved that show and was disappointed at its cancellation. One of the reasons I stopped watching continuous series television, the cancellation of this and other shows that I really enjoyed. Other teen-related shows, for me at least, didn't live up to that show in quality. James at 15 was such a unique show. I want to know what you thought. Did you ever see James at 15? If you were my age, or maybe a little older, even a little younger, you might have caught the show. Again, let me know what you thought in the comment section below about James at 15. Were there other shows that you liked that you thought were similar to James at 15? Did you have another teen show that you enjoyed that spoke to you? Maybe you're a little younger, something like Boy Meets World. I don't know. Just let me know in the comment section below, and we'll discuss it at another time. Thanks for joining me, Kevin Gibbons, saying so long. That's all I have for this week. I hope you enjoyed that brief look at teen life. Until next time, this is Kevin Gibbons saying so long, live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Keep reading comics, listening to rock and roll, and watching those pop culture icons. And I want to remind you that if you love comics and pop culture as much as I do, you'll subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to stay informed of upcoming videos. Please share this video, as that will help me gain subscribers as well. I also want to remind you to check out my columns and reviews on two sites, Comics for Sinners and Comic Crusaders. I also have my own franchises, Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi and Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter. The latter has been picked up by Cutthroat Comics. Check the links below for more details and the link to Dracula Rising, which is available on Amazon. Here's some great artwork from Raphael Lanahaus from the origin story Foul Blood. Once again, available on Cutthroat Comics. See the links below. I also have a book which is a collection of my reviews and columns called Comics, Pop Culture, and Politics. You can also find t-shirts and posters on Teespring. Again, check the links below for all Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter merchandise.